Hello, students. I am your teacher, Guy Blissfel La Rosa Velasco, in this course, Values Education. We are going to have our lesson 1. The topics are the following: general guidelines of values education, foundation of values education, legal basis of values education, depth and values program, goal and objectives. The Department of Education, the K-12 program, from having character education, the good manners and right conduct, turning to edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, wherein it's honing an individual's capacity to make moral and ethical decisions and act. Values education. This study explores the Philippine experience in values development. The primary goal of providing values education at all three levels of the school system in the Philippines is the development of persons committed to building a free, democratic, and peaceful and progressive nation. Here are the general guidelines specified that the program must, of course, number 1, be oriented towards the whole learner, not only with the cognitive, building the knowledge, and the psychomotor, helping them to enhance their skills, will also help them to, of course, develop their affective, wherein they must have good attitude and character. Number 2, consider the unique role of the family in personal development and integration into society and the nation. And number 3, recognize and emphasize the role of teachers who themselves must possess a proper sense of values and respect for the person of the student. Here is our reference. Next, we have the foundation of values education. Here is a legal basis on the foundation of values education in the course, the Department of Education, Depth Order number 41, series of 2000, May 22, 2003, DO 41, series of 2003, Values Education, the Basic Education Curriculum, 2 Undersecretaries, Assistant Secretaries, Bureau of Directors, Regional Directors, Directors of Services, Centers, and Head of Units, School Division City Superintendents. DO number 41, series 2003, Values Education, the Basic Education Curriculum, is to ensure effective implementation of values education, which is one of the emphasis of the restructured basic education curriculum. Values education teachers should be utilized fully to help the other subject area teachers integrate values development in the subject area they teach. Not only the values education teacher should teach values, but all of the subject teachers. And this order is being issued for the following reasons: to effectively reinforce the role of every teacher as a values education teacher, thus strengthening the department's collective efforts in developing desirable values among the students, to be able to meaningfully integrate values development in the lessons of every teacher in each, to be able to assist teachers in the valuing process while at the same time developing the competencies in the subject area they teach. It's to ensure that values education is purposefully planned as regular lessons in the subject and not taken as incidental lesson in the process. Number 3, the following provisions should be observed. Values education teachers should provide assistance to the subject area teachers in integrating values development in their lessons. This does not mean forcing values integration if it is not relevant to. Values education teachers should conduct training or lesson demonstrations if necessary. The value focus may sometimes arise out of the teacher's observation of the daily behavior of students in their class, which may not necessarily be related to the lesson on hand. The subject area teacher should address. The revised values education framework is still the basic material source for the core values that need to be developed. These will be made available in division offices. The approved textbooks in the secondary level can still be used as reference. The Values Education Department at the secondary level belongs to the Makabayan Learning Area and should sit in the collaborative planning of the teachers in this group. As any other area teacher, proportionate teacher loading should be not taken into for immediate dissemination and here are references. So Department of Education Values Program. Values education is a part of school curriculum is the process by which values, attitudes, and habits are formed as a learner interacts with his environment under the guidance of the teacher. It involves different kinds of the teaching learning process. First, in terms of subject matter, values has direct and immediate relevance to the personal life of the learner. Second, the process involves not just cognitive but all the faculties of the learner. The teacher must appeal to the heart and the total human person instead of only to the mind. And third, one learns values the way children learn many things from their parents. Children identify with parents, and this identification becomes the vehicle for transmission of learning. Hence, the teacher personal values play an important role in values. Studying values will not necessarily influence behavior. Behavior can only be influenced when a value is experienced and commitment made to it in belief and Department of Education Values Education Program Goal and Objectives. We have here the goal of Values Education Program. The goal of the Values Education Program is to provide and promote values education at all levels of the educational system for the development of the human person committed to the building of a just and humane society and an independent and democratic nation. This is to ensure that the core values of makadiyos, makatao, makalikasan, and makabansa are instilled among the learners. The core values of values education in the Philippines are the following. We're going to instill the students that they must be makadiyos, they're spiritually developed, makatao, they are socially engaged, and of course, they respect others, makakalikasan, as they will also be responsible in loving the Mother Earth, and makabansa for being patriotic to our country. Here are the following objectives of values education. Proper implementation of the program will develop Filipinos who, of course, number one, are self-actualized, integrally developed human beings imbued with a sense of human are social beings with a sense of responsibility for their community and environment. Number three are productive persons who contribute to the economic security and development of the family and nation. Number four, as citizens have a deep sense of nationalism and committed to the progress of nation as well as the entire world community through global. And number five, manifest in actual life an abiding faith in God as reflection of His Spirit represent. So the tasks that you are going to do are the following. Number one, create your setup paper wherein you're going to have your content. What are the content that you have learned? You must, of course, in the summary, your learning. And next would be the E, experience, reflection, realization. And then lastly would be application. Of course, it must be in a letter, short size, Arial, font style, 12 font size, single spacing justified in only one page, minimum of 3 sentences, and maximum of 5 sentences in every part from content, experience, reflection, and application. And observe correct spelling, grammar, proper indentions, and punctuation marks. Number two, create a video answering the question why we need to teach values education to our learners. Of course, the minimum of 30 seconds and maximum of 1 minute video. Use only English language. Please have subtitle under the video. Observe proper pronunciation, articulation, stress, intonation, and punctuation marks. Pass it on time in our Google Classroom next meeting. Class schedule before the next lessons. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you have learned something from our lesson 1. God bless you all. Mabuhay!